From forgotten derelict churches to ghost towns and condemned malls. These are 10 strange, bizarre, abandoned places. Number 10. GEAMANA, Romania. We kick off our journey with the seemingly forgotten village of GEAMANA. Everything was peachy for the hundreds of residents of this peaceful place in the mountains. But all good things must come to an end, especially when you have a communist leader that looks for the greater good, even if that meant destroying private property and the local environment. At this point, you might be wondering what the hell happened here. Well, somebody found copper deposits near GEAMANA, and within the year, everyone from the village was forced to leave. And since 1977, the surrounding area has been a toxic waste pit for the copper mines in the region. To be fair, the mines were producing close to 11,000 tons of copper per year, so I guess it was worth it to destroy GEAMANA. Nowadays, the church is the best preserved building, and even though the artificial lake looks pretty in some pictures, I would not suggest diving in there, since there's very high levels of cyanide and no happiness. Number 9. Krapivino Dam, Russia. The Krapivino Dam on the River Tom is yet another Soviet-era project that failed. But this time, it's not what you think. No. Government incompetence had nothing to do with this failure. Surprisingly, the project was halted due to environmental concerns. Construction work started in 1975, and by 1989, work stopped on the Krapivino Dam, pending a new environmental impact assessment. The chances of this hydroelectric dam ever being finished are somewhere between 0 and -0. So have fun and explore it, if you can find it, that is. Here are the coordinates for all you urban explorers out there. Send me some pictures if you go. Number 8. Tower Colliery, United Kingdom. Perhaps the most famous location on this list is the Tower Colliery, and by famous I mean at least 20 people watching this video have probably heard of it. What are we looking at? This is the Tower Colliery mine, which was the oldest continuously working deep coal mine in the UK and maybe even the world. Located near the village of Hirwan in South Wales, and I definitely didn't pronounce that right, the coal mine was established in 1864. Nothing of interest happened between then and 1994 when the mine was shut down. A few months later, the workers that spent most of their lives digging up coal purchased the mine and everything was seemingly back to normal. By 2008, the end was near. The mine was shut down for good, and by the looks of it, Tower Colliery will be left to the elements for the foreseeable future. Number 7. Fort Klutz and Fort Herman, Slovenia. Let's travel back in time to the year 1472, a year that brought us such musical hits as The Fox, which inspired the hit 2013 song by the same name. Just letting you know that was not fact-checked. Wait, what are we supposed to be talking about? Oh yeah, Fort Klutz and Fort Herman, two strongholds that did a great job strongholding for a long time. From 1472 till 1913, the two forts were in full operation. Nowadays, you can see the great preserved remains of Fort Klutz and whatever is left from Fort Herman. To top it off, there is a tunnel connecting the two forts, which is still operational-ish. Would you venture down this dark, creepy hallway not knowing what was on the other side? Number 6. Korestia, Greece. Believe it or not, Greece is home to quite a few abandoned cities and villages. These are areas that have been completely abandoned in the last 100 years or so, some due to environmental issues, others due to economic ones. Any way you cut it, it's interesting to see hundreds of homes and businesses deserted and forgotten. Korestia is one of those unfortunate villages. As most young people moved to bigger cities or abroad, there was no one left to take care of the dilapidated red brick houses. The surrounding area has a few more, even smaller villages that lay abandoned. But all in all, it's a nice area to visit. Number 5. Blue Heron Paper Company, Oregon. Between 1829 and 2011, the Blue Heron Company was a stable and interesting place to work at, providing views of the Willamette Falls. Employees had something cool to stare at while providing a much-needed service. On the other side of the paper mill, you can find a hydroelectric generation facility that was built in 1888. The Blue Heron wasn't the only paper mill near Oregon City, but it was definitely the most famous one. When the company shut down in 2011, a lot of people were hopeful that it would be only temporary. But by 2014, there was plans for redevelopment. Things are actually moving kind of quick compared to similar projects, so don't expect this abandoned station to last too long. If you want to visit, do it soon. Number 4. Berengaria Hotel, Cyprus. Opened in 1931, the Berengaria Hotel in the mountains of Cyprus offered a place to relax and be surrounded by nature. It was definitely not a place for common folk, and it was advertised as a luxury retreat. Having great amenities, including a nightclub and a casino, was definitely a plus for anyone that wanted to spend some money while vacationing. However, by the 1980s, mismanagement resulted in a fall from grace. Bad management can be attributed to the fast change in ownership. The original owner of the hotel retired and left the business to his 3 sons, who in turn ruined everything. And of course, let's not forget the 2 ghostly figures that have been spotted by the now empty pool. Is there an abandoned hotel that isn't haunted? I don't know. This hotel is definitely hauntingly beautiful. Would you spend a night in this now derelict building? Number 3. Sacra di San Michele. This is perhaps the most interesting building on our list, and definitely the oldest. This ancient abbey was built between 983 and 987, and it's located on the top of Mount Perciriano, so you can imagine it offers some incredible views of the valleys down below. Although it is definitely not abandoned now, Sacra di San Michele was completely suppressed in 1622. I guess the Pope at the time didn't like the abbey and its close ties to the cult of Saint Michael, which sounds a lot worse than it actually is. The abbey was left to the elements for over 200 years, until the King of Sardinia and the Pope ordered to restore it. Out of all the places on the list, I would most like to visit this abbey. What about you? Number 2. FLORUS and LORUS Orthodox Church, Russia. I can't tell you much about this church. Online research doesn't help when you're dealing with a dilapidated building that was built in 1803 and was completely abandoned and suppressed by the Soviet regime. Judging by the pictures, there isn't much time left. Without intervention, this Orthodox church will definitely not exist 20 years from now. In the Russian Orthodox Church, St. Florus and Laurus are considered the patrons of horses, mainly due to the fact that when their relics were found, a severe horse plague came to an end. In the region of Sesdal, where this church is located, you can find many more churches, some still in use, some barely standing. So if you're into that kind of stuff, have fun. Before we jump into number 1, I wanted to thank you all for the awesome comments. And by the way, do you know anything about this mine located in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado? All I could find was this picture, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing your thoughts and suggestions in the comments. Number 1. The New World Mall, Thailand. Built in 1982, the New World Mall was quite the project. It originally boasted 11 floors of wall-to-wall shopping. However, the local government had only approved a 4-story building. It's not really clear when the extra stories were torn down, but I think it was in 1997. At that point, the mall owners decided to abandon the building and moved on to greener pastures. In 1999, a fire obliterated the roof of the building, and slowly but surely, the bottom levels of the New World Mall started filling up with rainwater. Before anyone figured out what to do with the building, a major mosquito problem was thwarted by introducing fish inside the mall. Not surprisingly, the fish multiplied in numbers very quickly, and the New World Mall became an urban aquarium with a thriving ecosystem. At some point, the Thailand Department of Fisheries decided to step in and relocate all the fish to different parts of the country, in an effort to stop curious tourists and locals from entering the condemned building. Looking at Google Street View, the building has now been demolished as of May 2017, and I doubt that will change anytime soon. It's kind of crazy to think that it used to be 11 stories tall, right? Coming up next, enjoy this awesome Abandoned America video. Just click here. And for more interesting content in the future, don't forget to subscribe to World Unearthed.